that maybe you won't see the Generation Iron?
I do think the only thing we might need to do with this shirt is baby don't hurn me. I'm just saying, but here's those 22-inch pipes. Let's talk about this rumors about Synthol, shall we? Shall we? So you all may have seen the post on Generation Iron reposted on my page, and then the world jumping onto it from the, I guess, the caption on the photo, but nobody really read the contents of or context of the post. Now, here's the thing. That was an easy troll by me, because I knew the majority would already be jump on it, wouldn't read anything. They would bypass that and just go, this is awesome. Gotcha. So that's the reason I kind of did it, to kind of just make you a little awake of one thing that's going to help, I think, the majority of you, even with hate. I mean, I think it is stemmed from hate, because I think the people that are like, what's going on here? Let me read this. And so it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what I do. And the great thing about that is that I've been living this life in the visual or in the streamline, or what do they call it? In the limelight, since I was 9-10 years old. Let me explain. You have social media. And so there's things now, unless you delete them, that are going to be there, and the world's going to be able to see that stuff. And you'll be able to go, no, I did do this. And the great thing about my era is that the newspaper clippings, the write-ups, the mostly the newspaper write-ups, just talking about me at 9 years old, already being a champion on running, 10 years old, 11, 12, and then switching over into Olympic lifting, and then competing at 14, and having myself again throughout that whole period in the newspapers and written up about being a champion at such a young age. And then, I mean, I could do this forever, and this would be the whole episode of me just talking about how much I've been in the visual eye of everybody, because of the newspapers, into the news broadcasts, into television, into the magazines for the world to see, from martial arts magazines to powerlifting magazines to bodybuilding magazines, which most of you guys know the bodybuilding, but it was also martial arts and powerlifting in my 20s. So those were put into print because of what I did, right? And so the whole point of that is I can say, oh, Mike O'Hearn busted for drugs and Synthol and all that. Mike O'Hearn likes guys. Mike O'Hearn's broke. Mike O'Hearn's a cat guy. So it really doesn't matter what I say. The evidence is there of what I do and what I have been doing for a lifetime. And the fact of me competing in both federations, and the fun stuff was competing in the non-tested competitions prior to a week later, 2 weeks later, doing the natural competitions and being tested, is irrelevant to the majority of society. They'll bypass that. They don't care about that. And that's fine, because that's my life, and that's how I want to live it and compete. And so I could do this at this stage, which is the coolest thing. I was hoping, this was the game plan, is to be able to hope that I could do this closing in on 60 years old, and that I could keep crushing weights that 20-year-olds can't lift, and have a physique that 20-year-olds can't have. It's just don't have. So the goal was for me as a person to continue to do and not talk about it, in the sense of just because talking doesn't do anything. It's the movement. It's the consistency on diet and training from that 8-9 years old until my stage right now. And so that's why I hope you guys understand it really doesn't matter what you say. And you can say pretty much anything, but your actions are going to prove who you are as an individual. And so the greatest thing about my enjoyment of where I'm at now is that all that training, all the sunblock through the years, all the taking care of my skin, staying in class, going on auditions and being said, we don't want you. And then every once in a while, you get a job in theatrics, and it kind of keeps that fire alive, but you know that you're on the right track. But regardless of that, you love the struggle of trying to create and do the dream that you've been chosen or you chose for yourself to do. And it goes back to, I've known so many actors now that were with me in the 20s, in my 20s, that aren't still doing it or chasing it. And it's like, no, I got over it, kind of moved on, couldn't make a living from it, which is understandable. And so they moved on, and I stayed true to, I'm making money over here with real estate. So I'll just continuously do that. And then I'll continue, the bodybuilding was a hobby, and consistently stay in classes to act and get better and better and better and better. And now I get to reap those benefits of staying true to it and finally getting over that little hump. And the casting directors and the producers and the productions are liking what they see when I go in there, and I'm getting hired a lot more. And that's where a lot of this discussion came from for the post that was, if you didn't see it, on Generation Iron, is that we have this incredible show going to air on Monday on Fox Television. And that show is with the cast and crew of 911, led by Angela Bassett, who is not only a actress, but a award-winning actress, and the top notch in the industry that we have today. And so to be able to be on set with her, act with her, and the appreciation she gave me back after the filming was over, it was so kind. And it just really kind of goes, and I know this is hard for you guys struggling, thinking about your dreams. If it is not happening, understand that this is 33 years into my career that it's clicking into another level. So it may not happen the first year. You may not be an overnight success. And I get DMs all the time going, hey, I'm glad you're acting. And it's like, what are you talking about? I've been trying to do this for 33 years. And it was like gladiator stuff and Battle Dome stuff and guest spots and soap operas. And only now is it these Oscar nominee kind of movies. And with these actors at such a freaking level, it takes time. It takes time. It is not what you say. It is what you do day in and day out, that I'm hoping you guys will get from this. And not just mine. I mean, go back and like read Robin Williams' struggle when he first started, or anybody that worked with Roger Corman would be a great example. Now, Roger Corman was one of the biggest producers in Hollywood. I did Keeper of Time and Barbarian with him. And the great thing about doing that with him is that he started guys like Stallone, De Niro, Pacino, all these kind of guys, Jack Nicholson, all worked with him in their early years. And I got to work with this guy. And I mean, just the knowledge that he gave me, and him saying, I like what you got. I like this. Just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And seeing all the other actors that started in that stable, I was like, man, I got here. Let's go to that next level. And then you get there and then you go, okay, now let's get to the next level. And you keep pushing. That kind of stuff about keep leveling up, keep getting better is a motivation that you can't get outside of you. It has to come from your hard work of you showing up being said no to 90% of the time, and then you get a little something, and just the continuous struggle. So it goes back to that whole thing. Like I said to a kid the other day from Cameo, I get these cameos where they ask for motivation, or they go, what's a good advice for a kid? And it is, and again, this is an echo of what you see on social media now, but it's true though. It is the guy that falls down and fails and gets back up and keeps going. It really does come down to that. But it comes down to the point of failing, obviously, and being okay with it and expecting it and knowing it's going to be hard, and then keep going. So it's not just about get down, get back up, learn from it, find out what you're doing wrong, if there is something you're doing wrong, and keep fighting for it. So that's my little tidbit for everybody that got, what do they call, fish hooked from the post about Synthol. That's my character I'm playing on Monday. He's an actor that gets, not an actor, he's a character I play on 911 that gets busted for Synthol and drugs and stuff. And so it was too easy not to fish hook you guys, because I know that a lot of you out there just got hate in your heart. But for all those supporters, make sure that you read the captions. And also, in the end of the day, it's not about what you're saying. It's about what you're going to do and what you're going to continuously do. And people do see that. The real ones do see that. And it's, I think, why we like people like Lee Priest. He's just so honest in how he lives. It doesn't really matter what he says or if he offends you. He's a good cat. So I'm just saying that because there's so many people out there that say things, but they live a true life. And there's other people out there that say a lot, and you can kind of see their actions don't support what they're saying. So that's it. Jeffrey, you got anything else for today's? That's it, guys. Just keep doing you, keep focusing on you. And remember, most of the stuff outside of yourself, you can't control. So all you're going to control is yourself. Peace. Baby, don't hurt me. Little flex out right there. Those pipes look just ginormous.